What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. Garrett Wilson of the New York Jets is about to explode this year. Year two explosion is on the way. He's probably, other than Justin Jefferson, the most confident I am in a receiver to have a great year, and that's saying something. So I kind of want to break down my expectations for Garrett Wilson's year two, some reasons why I think he's going to be so great this year. Before I do, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you enjoy this kind of content, please like the video. I do have a couple questions for you. What are your expectations for Garrett Wilson going into year two with Aaron Rodgers as his quarterback? And then predict his stat line. Put it in the comments what you think Garrett's stat line is going to look like, because I think he's going to have a monstrous year. So basically, as a rookie, he had like one of the worst quarterback situations in the entire NFL, and he still had like 83 catches, 1,100 yards, only 4 touchdowns. But when you're constantly dealing with poor quarterback play, quarterbacks getting switched in and out, even putting up 1,100 yards is insane under those circumstances. The dude put up 1,100 yards with Zach Wilson, the allure of Mike White, and the corpse of Joe Flacco out there. Like that was what he was dealing with. This was honestly, if the offense was even remotely capable at quarterback, they probably could have made some noise and made the playoffs last year. The defense is amazing on the Jets, but now you got Aaron Rodgers into the fold, and obviously this is a several-time MVP. You got a quarterback that's proven, knows how to play with great players, has had success in the past. So you got that into the fold now. So the biggest problem the team had is now solved. So no more, balls in the dirt or anything sailing over his head. He's not getting, like, Garrett Wilson's not going to be missed by 8-9 yards on his targets. He's going to have everything on the money for the most part. And he really didn't get to have any of that last year. My expectations for him going into year two, the offense did get a lot more talent at receiver as well, but I still think he's the clear-cut number one on this team. I'm expecting 90 catches, 1,400 yards, and 10 TDs. Monster year. That's a great year by pretty much any receiver standards. I think if he maybe is on other teams as a wide receiver one, he could go for even more yards, but when you have guys like Allen Lazard, Corey Davis, there's even Mecole Hardman. Like they got a lot going on in that Jets receiving core this year. I'm really excited to watch it. But Rodgers, I think he's ultimately going to end up being the favorite number one. Even Aaron Rodgers is on record as saying he reminds him a lot of Devontae Adams, and we know what kind of player Devontae is and has been with Aaron in the past. So he's even getting mentioned in the same light. That's nothing to slight at. And we just know that in the past, Aaron Rodgers creates wide receiver ones, right? They get great years when they have wide receiver one. Last year it was Christian Watson. He really came on towards the end of the season when they actually started to make him a focal point in the offense. Years before that, obviously, you had the Devontae Adams, Jordy Nelsons, the Greg Jennings. There's always been a wide receiver one with Aaron Rodgers that's been great in terms of statistical performance and overall talent, right? Like, he gets the most out of his top guys. And I think in training camp, too, because, it is going to take time to build a rapport between quarterback and receiver. That doesn't just come overnight. But Aaron Rodgers hyping him up at the way he has, and then, iron sharpening iron when Garrett Wilson's going up against Sauce Gardner every single snap, it feels like. And, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some when you're going up against a perennial, stud corner and Sauce. It's really just going to make him better, and it's going to make the connection between Rodgers and him better because they're going to, he's going to be facing cornerback ones all year long. So they're going to have to figure out how are we going to be successful against these guys? What can we do to make each other's lives easier? And Rodgers has basically just told him, like, dude, just be on time with your routes. Be on time with your routes, and the ball will be on time. And that's perfect because I think a guy like Garrett Wilson he's really a 3-level receiver. He can do the short game, the screens. He can do the mid routes. He can do the deep ball. And he's also awesome after the catch. He's one of the best receivers after the catch in the NFL. 22 broken tackles last year. That was second to only Deebo Samuel. Like that's pretty wild to be in that conversation already. And he's not like a big frame built dude. I mean, he's got, decent size. I think he's like 6 foot, but the physicality he plays with is nasty. And open field him is going to be crazy this year. And I think when you're already an elite talented receiver and you're going from absolute garbage quarterback play to Hall of Fame quarterback level play, you're going to see a huge jump in numbers. That's just the natural fit of things. And I feel like he's going from just a dumpster fire situation, and he was good in the dumpster fire situation. Imagine what his floor is now. Like, his floor is probably 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns with Aaron Rodgers. I think that's probably a safe floor for him. I honestly, the Jets could be really, really good this year, because their defense we know is stacked. Offensively, now they fixed the biggest problem they had. And, you got a true elite stud wide receiver one out there who's going to be just a mismatch. Anybody who's guarding him is going to be a mismatch. There's not too many guys in the league with his speed, his jumping ability, his ability after the catch, his hands. You look at the training camp catches he's had. Some of these are just like, over the shoulder, recovery toe tap, barely get it in, but he still catches it. Like, just nasty catches. And that's kind of, the iron sharpens iron with Sauce Gardner. Those two are going to make each other so much better as their careers go on. But in training camp, just lighten it up. Both of them putting on a show. Garrett Wilson's going to get some dubs. Sauce is going to get some dubs. Ultimately, it's going to make both of them even better than they already are. And I think that as this season goes on, you're going to see a lot of conversation that Garrett Wilson's he's getting himself into that top 5 conversation. It's not a conversation you could just join so easily. The top 5, it fluctuates, right? I think the top 2, for me, Justin Jefferson and then Devontae Adams. But after that, Tyreek Hill, you probably throw in there too. But 4 or 5, those are always getting changed in and out. Cooper Kupp, Stephon Diggs, Jamar Chase. I'm probably forgetting a couple names here. Anyway, but you get the gist of the topic is that he's gonna be putting his name stamped into that conversation. Like, hey, I'm top 5 too. And when you have the numbers to prove it, and he's finally gonna have a quarterback that isn't terrible, it's gonna make him look great. He's gonna have a fantastic year. So my advice to anybody who's willing to listen to this, if you're smart, you're going to do whatever you can. If you're a fantasy man like me who plays fantasy football, you're going to draft Garrett Wilson when you get the opportunity, because he's going to be a wide receiver 1 this year. He's going to have a top 5 statistical season. It's going to be electric, and it's hard not to root for the guy too. If you've heard him talk in media and stuff like that, really, really nice guy, but he's a dog when he's on the field. So I'm all on the hype train. I'm on that train. I was on it last year. I thought he was going to be really good, even with the terrible QB situation, and he still was. So now, I'm harping on it. I've already said it a few times in this video, but when you go from a F at quarterback situation to an A, you're going to get so much better performance out of your receivers because they're just going to be in better situations. And statistically, you're going to see that this year. Speaking of statistics, as I said earlier, predict his stat line in the comments. I want to know what everybody's thinking his numbers could be, because I've seen people saying he could be up there in the 1,800 yards mark. I don't even necessarily disagree. I've also seen people that are like, oh, it's Aaron Rodgers. He fails every year. He's only going to get 900 yards. I've heard people been delusional with that. But I think, the middle ground is somewhere around 1,400, 1,500 yards this year. That's my prediction. I think he's going to get it into the 10-touchdown club or be close. Aaron Rodgers is a master in the red zone. It has been in most of his career, and that was a huge weakness on the Jets last season, was they just couldn't convert in the red zone. So now you're going to get just an overall better offense, and the flow is going to be better. They're going to get inside that 20-yard line, and it's going to be cash money, and Garrett Wilson's going to be cash money on a lot of them. But yes, obviously you can tell, super excited for Garrett Wilson going into year 2. I think he's going to have the best year 2 of any receiver going into this year. I think it's going to be fantastic. Top 5 conversations on the way. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and if you enjoy this kind of content, please like the video. But watch some Garrett Wilson tape, because he's going to be nasty. He's going to be elite this year. I'm calling my shot. All right, I'm done. Peace.